I think when you know somebody so well and they become part of your family, it's like being asked, when did you meet your brother, or when did you meet your sister, or your cousin. And so I would like to say that I can't remember Norman because he was always in our lives, but I do remember because I met him, I was trying to think, it might have been as early as 1970, and when I first came to London, maybe a year or two after that, and it was the home of his then sister-in-law, Georgie Walton. And I remember going to a dinner. I remember having delicious food. I remember having a great conversation with him. And then, in my memory, I'm pretty sure it was only about 8 or 10 of us for dinner, but I remember we danced. And I remember that we just danced. I danced with Norman, probably the first time I met him, the first hour after meeting him. And he's a great dancer. And he just was somebody that I knew had been a huge part of Richard's life, and I was confident that he would be a huge part of mine. I remember cooking with him. I remember that he decided to make pesto, and he found a recipe. We were in the country, and he found a recipe that required something like 12 leaves of basil. It's a funny way to say how much, it wasn't by weight, it was by leaves. And I came down and he said, well, as we're 10, Ruthie, I'm on now my 90th basil leaf. He was actually counting out 120 basil leaves, which I think shows the passion, the patience, and the perfection of Norman. Like every other profession, whether it's physics or architecture or journalism or law or cooking, we've been questioning and very aware of the precariousness of the planet, but also excited about what we can do together to make the world a better place. And so I think, everyone that I respect or is thinking about that is thinking about the people that work from them, the team, the culture, and society, inequality, the awareness of not just our own country, but countries thousands of miles away, people who live a very different culture. I think Norman's built in countries all over the world and also has done a kind of impact in terms of trying to make the world a better place. The impact on my life has been something quite small, which is a beautiful table that he made. So for me, when I was discussing the classic table that he's done, and we have had it as a piece of furniture since the day we moved in our house. And I just said to Norman, I think maybe I'm a little tired of glass. And Richard said, no, Ruthie, you can't change the glass because you have to see the engineering of this table through the glass. And before I knew it, Norman had designed something that Richard loved and I loved because it is made of a beautiful blue top, which has a clear glass center so that you can see the architecture, but you can also feel a sense of color. So every time I sit down for a meal by myself or with 10 people or with one child doing their homework, we live in Norman's architecture. So it's been a good impact for me on the small scale and on the large scale. Richard and Norman were no longer a team four when I met Richard, but I know that it was very close. I know they were very clear about their ambitions, about their value, about the ethos. I think they had a good time, they had fun, and they were a young group of people who were just beginning with the passion and seriousness that continued through both their careers.